Dah boleh main ergi kereta mah kemak wis ya.
Itu Famine.
Sami lives me. Bebe.
Stene. Melara na saruna. Ito ni ha yo oma. Ho ito tan ko ilalan long.
Yan yung gursya.
Nana gor uner.
Mo hin siya ni mo lok.
Joy.
Ano ka nila ngilang man? Soldin ikire?
Lako.
Aron na belo ko.
Ron bela. Kasi lihat jurnalis di ron long na. Jangan jurnalis gorbel apa? Gurus FFS yang guru berner nggak bisa kau. Ibu kesidang kuat lo dulu.
The 7 years of abundance in Egypt came to an end, and the 7 years of famine began, just as Joseph has said. There was famine in all the other lands, but in the whole land of Egypt there was food. When the famine had spread over the whole country, Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold grains to the Egyptians, for the famine was severe throughout Egypt. And all the world came to Egypt to buy grain from Joseph, because the famine was severe everywhere. When Jacob learned that there was grain in Egypt, he said to his sons,
What you just keep looking at each other? I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy some food for us so that we may live and why do you just keep looking at each other? I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy some food for us so that we may live and not die.
Bifan harus sidang le, pa otakam ya.
Then 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to buy grain from Egypt. But Jacob did not send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with the others, because he was afraid that harm might come to Benjamin.
Iva move.
When Joseph's brothers got to Egypt, they bowed down to him with their faces to the ground. As soon as Joseph saw his brothers, he recognized them, but his brothers didn't know him. Joseph pretended to be a stranger and spoke harshly to them.
Where do you come from?
From the land of Canaan to buy food.
You are spies. You have come to see our land is unprotected.
No, those 7 are honest men, not spies. We are sons of one man. We are not spies, we are honest men.
No, you have come to see where our land is unprotected.
We were 12 brothers, sons of one man in the land of Canaan. The youngest is with our father and one is no more.
A young brother, if you want to prove you are not spies, one of you must get this young brother and bring him here to me. The rest of you will be kept in prison until the younger brother arrives. If you accept to do this, I know you are spies.
On the 3rd day, Joseph said to them,
Do this, for I fear God, you are honest men. Let one of your brothers stay here in prison, and the rest of you take grains and go back to your staff and household. But you must bring your youngest brother. So that your words may be true and you will not die.
Joseph's brothers knew they were guilty of sin against Joseph and against God. They believed they getting the punishment they deserve. They didn't know that Joseph heard and understand every word they were saying. Hearing this conversation brought Joseph to tears. He quickly went to another room so his brothers wouldn't see his tears. When Joseph returned, he sent his brother Simon to prison. Where he would stay until the others returned with their younger brother. He also ordered his servants to fill the brothers' sacks with grains and return the money to their sacks.
Kapan you move for eh?
After Joseph's servants loaded the grains, the brothers started for home. They were sad because they have left Simon behind. Worse yet, they would have to convince their father to let Benjamin return with them. Along the way, they stopped to rest, and one of the brothers opened his grain sacks to feed his donkey. He was shocked to find his donkey in the sacks with the grain.
Wow!
Now it looked like he had stolen from the Egyptians. The brothers were even more afraid. Now they were sure God was punishing them for what they had done. They felt guilty for the evil they had done to their brother and their father. When they arrived home, they told their father Jacob what had happened and that the governor of the land had accused them of being spies. They told Jacob the governor had put Simon in prison. The governor would continue to believe they were spies unless they brought Benjamin back with them. When they emptied all the sacks of grains, their money in each one. Now the brothers are terrified that there would be trouble for stealing. Jacob said to his sons,
"What is this you have done to me? Joseph is dead, Simeon is gone, and now you want to take Benjamin away."
You may put both of my sons to death if I do not bring him back to you. Entrust him to my care, and I will bring him back.
"My son will not go down there with you. His brother is dead, and he is the only one left. If harm comes to him on the journey you are taking, you will bring my gray head down to the grave in sorrow."
After a few months, the grains they brought from Egypt was gone. Finally, Jacob agreed that Benjamin would go to Egypt. He had his sons take lots of gifts with them and double their money to pay the governor. Jacob said,
"May God Almighty grant your mercy before the man, so that he will let your brother and Benjamin come back with you."
Benjamin and his brothers went to Egypt.
Yuko si tala de agosta.
After the long trip back to Egypt, the brothers went to see the governor. Joseph saw Benjamin and arranged for them to have meal with him.
Gila bana.
When the brothers were sent to Joseph's house, they were afraid they would be accused of stealing the money. They explained to one of Joseph's servants, called a steward, but the man said everything is fine. Their brother Simon was released from prison and brought to the house with them. They all sat down to eat.
Joseph.
When Joseph arrived, they gave him gifts. He asked about their father and was introduced to Benjamin. Seeing his younger brother after so many years caused Joseph to cry again. He hurried to his room where he could cry alone. After washing his face, he returned to eat with his brothers.
Mau lu sudah sami pulang hang re. Bawat aneh kan di mana? Hah?
The brothers spent the night, then took their new grains and started back home.
Togi gon taru buan re. Gue hau kina ne nerki.
They were overjoyed to go home with Benjamin and Simon and grains to feed their families. But Joseph tested them. He secretly had his stewards put their money in the sacks again. He also had special silver cup placed in the top of Benjamin's sack. Just as they were leaving Egypt, Joseph's stewards came after them and accused them of stealing the governor's special silver cup. The brothers were shocked and denied doing such a thing. The steward searched its grain sacks, and when he came to Benjamin, there was Joseph's silver cup. The brothers couldn't believe it. The steward took Benjamin back to the governor to be his slave. All the brothers turned around and went back with the stewards to Joseph. Joseph acted angry and asked them why they steal from him. Judah, the brother who had sold Joseph to the caravan, fell to the ground before Joseph. He cried and said,
If I go back to my father without a boy, as soon as he sees that the boy is not with me, he will die. Now please let me your servant and let the boy return with his brothers.
When Joseph see his brother Judah plead for Benjamin, he couldn't hold his tears, and he said to his servants to leave the place. Joseph and his brothers are alone in the room, and he revealed himself to his brothers.
Come close to me. I am your brother Joseph. Is my father still alive? Do not be afraid and angry with yourself, because it was God who sent me here to save lives. Now hurry and tell my father that I am still alive. Tell him to come to me, and don't delay. You shall live in the John Gosel near me.
So the brothers went home and took their father and went back and lived in Egypt with Joseph.
Okay. Jolo orlo. Dadin me aliw na.
Okay, thank you. Hem namasot drama belum falalo. This fa evening. Bam fa reading memory verse.
Thank you, senior class for
Wait, masin ikat. Kira hubungan.
some little bit detail of what no story when we follow study mode of the year. Yeah. Why don't we give him hand for katamwa tonight? Thank you to my senior class.
Oh, menyala jadi lah mau biskira tetap mula lah. Jo.
Okay, you ready to the best.
Born into a family of promise and teaching. God is his promise. Memorize Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. For I know that thoughts that I think towards you, said the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. Lesson 2. Judging all by his brothers. Men teaching. God is with all even when you don't understand. Memory verse. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. For I know that thoughts that I think towards you, said the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. Lesson 3. Joseph explains God's help. Men teaching. God is with you and cares for you. Memory verse. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid. For the Lord thy God is with thee, wheresoever thou goest. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. Lesson 4. God is Joseph. Men teaching. God memory verse. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid.
Apa sih nggak mungkin yang mas? Hei,
Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. Lesson 5. Joseph God's plan revealed. Men teaching. God offers forgiveness through the promised Savior. Memory verse. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 7-8. In whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sin. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 7-8.
Ay, mungul na heng ko lang mong bali le ba mo. Sana singel ko heng ko lang.
Youth ministry, I think one pala drama numa. Then by me garden women's fellowship. Women's fellowship, I think one drama and one pala solo.
Ma isalon kita salon itu ni kurma.
Okay, ready for sing, yeah? Sing big.
Itu mak saudara yang dari itu. Kau ngalaan kita mau idlam urine. Kau kuirnen. Ngaki bisnis lan aksen kirki. Hak kau.